Sex, drugs, and the Los Angeles Lakers. What does this have to do with business? Well, stick around and find out. This is a true life story about how I was running my manufacturing business and these things came up. Stick around and find out more. Hey, welcome to Skunk Work. Yeah, that's me. I'm your host, Jay here. Some of you guys probably recognize me from The Blue Garden or Glass Carving on Bottles. But I also do this series right here called Skunk Works. It's all about manufacturing. Now, I want to tell you a story, a true story. I think I'm going to call this chapter 4 of my book of machining. And it's a little different and see how it goes. Maybe you guys find it interesting, maybe you're not. So, chapter 4. What does sex, drugs, and the Los Angeles Lakers have to do with business? Yeah, it's true. I'm going to change the names of the players, protect their identity, and tell me what you're thinking in the comments below. Let's take this opportunity here to subscribe and ring that bell, hit that notification, and hit that like button. Let's get Google working here. Subscriptions up, and the series to get them to show the videos to more people. All right, let's get started here. Like I said, this is chapter 4 of my book, Machining 101. This is chapter 4. What does sex, drugs, and the Los Angeles Lakers have to do with business? 101. All right, this is 1991. As you know, I started my business in November of 1989. So this is 91 that I created a website for my company. Spent $10,000 on the website. Yeah, it was a good one. And we got it done, and it was out in circulation, and I got this call one day. And he said, hey, I seen your website. I'd like to throw some business your way. Can you come over and take a look at some prints and give me a quote? I said, yeah, sure thing. Got his name, company, hung up the phone, and first thing I do is I investigate the company, make sure they have money to pay me. I just don't go blindly doing business with anybody. So, yeah, I investigated them, did the financials and everything, and I found out, hey, they're doing $3 billion a year. That's 3 with a B in 1990. So, $3 billion. Do I want to do business with them? Yes. Pretty sure everybody out there watching would do too. So, next day I scheduled an appointment around 9 o'clock. I go down there, drive up there, go in the parking lot, and walk in through the front doors, get to the secretary. Hey, I'm here with schedule appointment with so-and-so. And sit in a little lobby, reading the little magazines they have out there. Took them about 6 minutes to come down and get me. And start showing me around, the ground floor area. And shows me, takes me into cafeteria, because nearby on the ground level floor, it shows me the cafeteria area. It was pretty nice, big, yeah. And then from there, we do a little small talk here and there, And then from there, we go over to a couple doors. Walk into the door. We're in some kind of locker room area. And it's a clean room. Now, a lot of you guys don't know what a clean room is. That's where you have to put on something like a space suit. And, you know, I had this. It was pretty cold. I think I believe it was January. You know, it's still cold, so I had this heavy leather coat, and we had to put on this smock, and it's sort of like a jumpsuit, and booties for your shoes. The clean room cannot have any dust or static electricity on you, so you had to sort of like go through this. If you've seen the movie Silkwood, something like that, you put on this white suit in there and a hair net. And if you had a beard, you put on a beard mask. Well, I didn't have a beard, so just a hair net. You know, I got very little hair, as you see, but put that on there. And you walk through this one door, and you get a blast of air coming down from the ceiling straight down at you. You're supposed to turn around and, you know, extend your arms, get all the static electricity out of you. Then you step onto this mat, which does the same thing as discharges you. No static electricity. And of course, the air also blows out any kind of dust particles that might be on you. Then you go through a double door system, one person at a time. It's a double door. One door shuts, and then you walk through the other door. And once you open one door, you cannot open the other door. So it's one door at a time. So go through there, and, you know, of course, I'm following him. So now we're into this clean room now. Everybody, sort of like NASA, you know. Everyone's wearing the space suits, all white, and everything is so it's clean. That's why they call it the clean room. Anyways, they did all right, I'll tell you guys. Laser disc, big ones. All right, so these laser discs. By now, you should figure it out what company it is. And I have to tell you, it's not Sony. Who does laser disc? Yeah, it's Pioneer Video. All right. So Pioneer Video, they do $3 billion a year, and they're the top dog. Sony wasn't even formed back then. It was just getting formed, starting out, but they were small. Sony, very small. Still not in the picture, and Pioneer Video was number one. I guess to say in the world, because, you know, just in the United States, just in California, you know, they're pulling $3 billion a year. So they're showing me how they make the laser disc and all the components to it. It's very impressive, big, very big. Everything there is big. We're big pits right there because the machines are huge and they're on the top. And then he's telling me all the mechanics and motorized and everything is underneath the floor. You go down, and there's where the other half of the machine is. So when you're on the top floor, you're only looking at the upper half of the machine. And there's a whole 1 story below it. So it's huge, just like an iceberg. You see the top of the iceberg, but that's not the whole iceberg. It's a whole big part underneath. So he shows me all around there. We did that tour there, and then we get out of the clean room, and we go upstairs, the flight of stairs, to engineering. So we get up to engineering. It's a big open floor plan. It's all open. You got desks all around there. You see the poles holding up the roof column there, but it's all open floor. And then, I walk over, he takes me over to his desk and shows me a stack of blueprints. And I told him there's too many to, give you a spot bid. A spot bid is where they ask you to give you a quote right there and right there. You look over the prints and you get one bid. It's called a spot bid. So I told him, I got to take these home to give you a good price. So, yeah, he understood it. It's a big stack. So I guess that kind of ends the orientation there. I get the stack of bills. I get escorted out. Back to the parking lot. I go back to my place. And that's the manufacturing company, Mines. And I start quoting the stack of blueprints. Now, I know I want to do business with this company, so I got to give them very good prices. And it was a lot of work. So, did I undercut my prices a little? Yes, because I said I want to get in the door. I already investigated them financially, and they were very good. I'm making $3 billion a year, so do I want to do business with it? Yes. I'm not gonna go in there and highball them right off the bat. That would be just plain dumb. So any of you guys out there, you have your own business and you're watching, don't give a highball. Come on, do your due diligence, do your investigation before you get those blueprints, so you know who you're dealing with. If they have money, you want to do business with them? Okay. If you don't want to do business with them, then you shouldn't give them a no bid. But don't play around. All right. So next day, I call him up. I told him I got the blueprints, prices for him. Email it to him. And a couple days, he comes back to me and he says, "Hey, I like your prices. Let's start out with some jobs." So he gives me a few jobs, 3 of them. And I made it. I did it for the price I quoted, which were a little bit low. All right, there's the phone. Hold on. All right, so after a few days, I get a call, and then he tells me, "Hey, do a couple of these jobs." So you gotta do like 3 jobs for him. I do it at the same price I quoted him. And so finish those jobs, turn it in, and everything's fine. I call him up in a couple of days, and he said, "Hey, I like your work. You did good. Everything's good." And then that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to make sure that he liked my quality of the work. I already know the prices was good because he already knew that ahead of time. Delivery. Oh, always deliver ahead of schedule. If I told him 3 days, I would deliver in 2 days. And so on. Telling it takes me a week, I would deliver in 4 days. A week is 5 days. All right. So, a little time passed by, maybe a week or something. I get a phone call from him. And he goes, "Hey, you want to go out and get some drinks?" And I'm remembering that company does $3 billion. So, you know my answer. "You want to go out and drink?" I'm not a drinker. So I said, "Yeah, all right." He told me, "All right, meet me at in Long Beach, Uncle Bill's bar." So I said, "Yeah, okay." So I hang up, and I never been there. So I look it up, Uncle Bill's bar. It's a pool and sports bar. So and that was for a Saturday. He called me like Friday. So I go over there Saturday. I don't remember what time it was. Probably around after lunch, 1 o'clock. So I get down there. He's already there waiting for me. And get there. He orders me. He had a picture. He ordered a pitcher of beer. I fill mugs. There was a pool table he already had reserved. So we're shooting pool. Now, what are the rules? All right. If you're doing business with somebody, do you let them win or do you win? See, this is the little game of business. You have to know ahead of time what to do. Do you play to win or you play to lose? Because if you play to win, you make him look bad, feel bad, then he's not going to give you any more work, right? But then if you win, might think you're arrogant or, hey, he should have let me win. Not to make you look bad. You understand? So it's the game. You got to learn the game of business. It's not a game of pool. It's a game of business. All right? So we're playing, and I'm trying to fill him out and see if he's going to let me win or if he's going to win. He wants to win. So I assume he wanted to win to show that, he's better and all this stuff. So we're playing a couple balls break. I don't remember who broke, but started shooting. After a few rounds, I noticed that he's missing on purpose. Or he's just missing. He's a bad ball player. I don't know. So, and then, I've been doing the same thing. Making some shots and missing some shots. So, we're playing that game. So, you have to learn real fast. I mean, you have to know how to play the game of business. Now, I noticed real quickly, and when I say quickly, under a minute, seconds, he's playing to lose, and he wants me to win. And I started out playing to lose and let him win. And I noticed real quickly that he's playing the same game I am. So what I started to do is start sinking all my balls. I had a game plan already in my head, and I said you have to figure it out. We're playing pool, 8-ball. I think I was solids. I made some solids, and he was strikes. So I started sinking all my balls. Now, I used to play pool a lot in the park, and that was quite good. I haven't played in a long time, but it's like falling off a bike. It all comes back. So, start sinking all my balls in there, and that was my plan. I sink all of them in there. Then, now I got to sink in the 8-ball. And call in corner pocket. Now, I know what I'm doing. Still, I didn't want to let him win, and I didn't want to let him know, I don't play to win. But at the same time, it's a business. So you're not playing for sports, you're playing for business. So I angled my shot for the 8-ball corner pocket, and I saw the side pocket. And I knew what I was going to do. I hit the 8-ball, made the 8-ball in the corner pocket, like I called it, but I sank the cue ball in the side pocket. Yeah, I knew what I was doing. So I won and lost. I scratched on the 8-ball. So those of you who don't play pool, when you make the 8-ball in the pocket that you call, but the cue ball, the white ball, goes into any pocket, that's called a scratch, and you lose. And that's how I won and lost at the same time. All right. So I grab my beer and I walk over to the counter, the bar counter. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers were playing on the big TV screen. All right. Hey, there's the first part of the thumbnail. So, LA Lakers were playing. I'm sitting down, sipping my beer, nursing it. Because, I'm not a big drinker and I didn't want to drink more than one. And he sits down next to me with his beer, takes a sip. I'm looking up at the TV monitor, watching the Laker game. And then he calls my name. And he said these words just like I heard them way back in 1990. And he said, Jay, I don't want any drugs. I don't want any sex. I like sports. Now, he said it. I heard it. And I'm thinking in my brain, what the heck is he talking about? I don't get what he's saying. You know, he said, I don't want any drugs. I don't want any girls. I like sports. And I didn't figure out. I didn't know what he was talking about. And then he said the next words, any kind of sports. And now it hit me like a ton of bricks. I knew what he was talking about. Yeah, you got to be around the block. You got to be well trained. I was well trained in business. Let me tell you. That's what I'm trying to share with you guys. Business is not just doing business, making parts, quoting, and all this stuff. It's this stuff I'm telling you right now. At first, I didn't understand what he was talking about. But then when he said any kind of sports, I knew what he was talking about. You guys figure it out. Put it down in the comments what I'm talking about right now. Go, 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 go. Put it down in the comments. What is he talking about? Now, remember, I had to figure this out in less than 5 seconds. That's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and even that's a long time. I had to figure out what was he talking about. And for those of you that still haven't figured it out, he was talking about a bride. He wanted a bride. He wanted sports tickets. For him to give me work, he wanted sports tickets. All right? That's what I had to figure out really, really, really fast. Less than 5 seconds. So, what did I do? What will you do? What will you do in that situation? I'm asking you. Put it down in the comments. Because I guarantee what you would have done, it was totally different what I done. Now, how many of you out there want to know what I did? And when I did it without without missing a beat, without missing a second. I mean, when he just said any kind of sports, I knew what he was talking about, and boom. I gave him the answer quick. Like this. Snapping your fingers. Just like it was yesterday. Now, before I tell you my part, I want to tell you, this wasn't his first time. This wasn't his first rodeo. He's done this many times. Come on. He invites you for drinks. He got the table already reserved for the drink. You got the pool table on hold reserved. Come on, it's not his first time. He's done this plenty times, and he's slick. He had his game plan. He knew he was going to let me win and pull, and then he was going to spring this stuff on me. Even the workload, I guess. He only gave me like a few jobs, 3 or 1, I believe. Test me out, and then butter me up, and then hit me for a bribe. I'm smiling because, I'm smarter than he was. And I bet you just dying to find out what I did, huh? I should cut the video here. This is the time for you to subscribe. Now, I need you to subscribe, hit that bell, and hit that like button. You got to hit that like button. And, alright, so, once he told me any kind of sports, I knew what he was talking about, and I said, okay. But, you got to do something for me. I'll give you whatever you want, everything that you want, but I want a minimum of $10,000 invoice. And that hit him like a ton of bricks. He didn't see that coming. He was a deer in headlights. I know, because I saw his face. It's like all the blood came out and he turned white. And he was a deer in headlights when I said that, because he had no response. Oh, he's done this before and he's never seen this kind of response back. Told him, yes, sir. I'll do whatever you want. I'll give you what you want, but you got to give me invoices no less than $10,000. Yeah, turn the tables on him. And when I turned the table, I did it like this. without missing a beat, without skipping anything, any time lapse in between. Like, I'm thinking, let me think, what should I do? No, none of that. I knew exactly what to do. And how? I told you, I've been trained in business. Well trained by real good people. And that's a different story, a different chapter, how well trained I've been in business. So, this one, I told him, $10,000 minimum, an invoice. And once I said the last final word, $10,000 invoices, put up my hand, shake the deal, lock it in. Like I said, he was a deer in headlights. He didn't know what to do. And when you're a deer in headlights and you're shocked, he put his hand out and he shake my hand. He made the deal. So, who had the upper hand here? This guy. Yes. All right, so I turned the tables on him and he didn't realize it. We finished up the drinks and I said I had to go because, who wants to do business with people like that? Come on, I'm being honest with you. The guy's shaking me down, and he wasn't expecting me to reshake him down. But, you want to socialize with people like that. In the back of my head, I still remember, hey, that company was doing $3 billion. That's no reason for me not to continue doing business with them. But, hey, that's what it is. So, it gets juicier, and it gets better, and it gets worse, and it gets bad. So, if you want to hear the continuation of this video, let me know. If you don't hit that like button, I want to see at least, I'm not going to say 10,000 because that's a lot. If I don't see at least 10 likes, then I'm not going to continue and finish this video. It's already up to 14 minutes, about 15 minutes videos, what you guys can take on YouTube. So if you want to hear the second part of this, let me know. Give me 10 likes, and that tells me that you want to hear the continuation of Sex, Drugs, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Business 101. What it has to do with it. And I'm telling you right now, it gets juicier, it gets nasty, it gets bad, it gets terrible. And I tell you, I've been well trained. I'm way smarter than they are. And I turn the tables again. You gotta listen to how I turn the table when it gets nasty, it gets dirty, it gets real bad. I'm telling you, yeah, it was real bad. If I wasn't well trained, they would have ate me up for lunch. But I turned the tables. I was smarter than them. I was well trained. And this is business. It's nothing new, and it's nothing old. If you haven't experienced, thank your lucky stars that you haven't experienced anything like this, but this is the real world. This is how business is done behind closed doors, in bars, and with alcohol. So, if you want to hear the second part of it, let me know. 10 likes. That's 10 likes. All right? So, this is Jay from the Skunk Works. Signing off. I want to hear that you want to hear the end of this chapter 4 of my book. If you don't give me 10 likes, you're going to have to buy the book. All right. Have a good one.